Button buttons above the player count, but technically right now I don't like one. Oh, and I like the font of actually. Technically, I know that practice comes. Oh yeah, it's ads I have. Oh, I need the. Oh no, but I still that wasn't a very. Actually, I am getting the most. I wasn't. Now I'm getting. I don't know. I don't care. Not Roblox for a sec. Wasn't getting. I'm happy it at least brings me. Okay, relative times it. I would say it's less than. I don't think. Oh, it is. Wow, it's faster than usual. I think. I don't want it. I feel like that was. Rex. Yeah, I could do right even. Oh yeah, I remember. I was 7. I don't know how I got recommended 1,000. I'll go. $5. Ireland, some uh, I've heard that. Oh wow, I got it faster. One is actually know what it looks. 'Cause see, I don't know why it's so. I haven't mixed. I thought it's kind of hard to step out. Then honest. And that's all. 40 million. I can confirm that Trackmania gives by a bit. Not really that much though.
To attack Israel from.
Connection to Jewish people, but it
I'm
was
happy that he
captured alive.
has him like
He would have been
likes
sentenced to a death sentence because his goal is to murder Jews.
People love to remove context of Israel. I actually just an hour or two ago
right
on
now.
X, and I see Mehdi Hassan. He posts this video. He reposts this
Very
video
big.
to Diane,
Yeah.
talking about
In 1974.
yeah, that's the one. Yeah, talking about how they got Israel has to
Driving
go
into
into
the
southern Lebanon, and he goes, "Whoa, I thought this was just about Hezbollah. I guess they lied about that." And I repost Mehdi Hassan. I was like, "Wow, today Mehdi Hassan learns that the PLO used to attack Israel from Lebanon."
So I also responded to him. I said,
Oh, you did?
It's one of two things. Either you're an ignoramus because you didn't know that southern Lebanon had been really flooded with so many Fatah people and so many PLO people
Killing Christians, too.
Killing Christians
Yeah.
who had been thrown out of Jordan because they
That's
tried
right.
to overthrow the king in Black September, that was
That's right,
called.
yep.
It's not a terrorist organization. They were thrown out of Jordan. They went to Lebanon. They destroyed Lebanon to the extent that southern Lebanon was actually called Fatah land.
Yep.
And if he listens to the first part of that recording,
Sure.
it says, if the Israelis can't live in peace because the terrorists are shooting
Sure.
rockets,
a terrible
then you
title.
have to go and destroy the terrorists in southern Lebanon. But so either you're an ignoramus because you have no idea of any type of historical context, or you actually do know and you're just a liar.
See, that's
It's
the
your
problem
choice.
with Mehdi Hassan is
All the traveling.
as much as I
So if
love
I've
him,
seen it, then I don't want it. But any other way, I would say, unless it's the old guy like Douglas Murray and Ray Robinson,
because it's just
a better
attitude.
Yeah.
It is
versus
spread
kind of
propaganda,
one.
because I know, Mehdi, that you know how to.
Not
you
he.
probably didn't even need to look.
Yeah, I don't actually. The only content is good, but I don't know. It's so boring to.
Christians attacking Israel. The amount of
I.
people, Black September, like you brought them up.
But it's still more than.
As a connection
I
point,
am.
coming to well, first I went to Poland, visited Auschwitz, and I came to Israel. And I did a video talking about the Munich massacre by the Black September terrorist organization. So southern Lebanon, I tell people all the time, and I'll keep my language PG for this, but I tell people, Israel, if
I go
you
back
cannot figure out how to control your country, I don't care if it's Lebanon, Syria, Jordan, Egypt, inside, whatever. If you cannot learn how to figure it out, and the United Nations can't learn how to figure it out with UNIFIL, and they're going to allow, I don't care if it's Hezbollah, PLO, whoever, if they're going to continue to displace northern Israelis, and Israel has to live with terrorism being attacked over a border, either you figure it out yourself and you stop it, or you get the F out of the way and let Israel figure it out for you. In fact, Israel's providing a service for Lebanon by going in and providing and risking their men and women and their lives, and to clear your country for you.
And again, their context.
Yeah.
Second Lebanon War, 2006, ends with UN Security Council Resolution 1701, calls for the dismantling of Hezbollah, the retreat of Hezbollah north of the Litani. Instead of actually enforcing that, they do nothing. American legislation was passed after UN Security Council Resolution 1701, which provided as follows: hundreds of millions of dollars of American taxpayer income going to support the Lebanese government and the Lebanese army.
It literally
for the
depends.
purpose of destroying Hezbollah.
Sure.
What happened with all that money?
Right. That's right.
Approximately $250 million a year since 2006. It was just stopped now. Where did that money go?
Right.
It was there. It was given for the Lebanese government.
But I had on the other.
Combat Hezbollah. Hezbollah in that time only got stronger.
I actually remember looking it up after the October 7th attack. I was very curious about UNRWA. And I found that America, by far, including the other Muslim Arab countries, EU, UK, all of that, gave more money to UNRWA than just about any country. And I mean, God bless, President Trump, Taylor Force Act with the Palestinian Authority, the Pay for Slave program, cutting from UNRWA. But the amount of money that America put in, right? You're bringing up the Lebanese military for dismantling Hezbollah. It doesn't happen. They get stronger. UNRWA was, I looked into the history of UNRWA. UNRWA was supposed to be a temporary organization to help the refugee question, and they were not supposed to be this.
That's a lot for an organization. Still less than Israel. You could technically
7-8 years later, it wasn't supposed to be that. And I actually found out back in, I think it was the 50s, maybe 60s, that the British and the Americans actually put into raise the question about UNRWA. Like, why is this still an organization? It's supposed to be a temporary thing. And they were going to put into, like, we need to investigate them, look at their papers.
Okay, good.
They were shut down, and they were put a lot of pressure onto them to not look into
Probably
the papers, the funding, everything into UNRWA. They said, shut your mouth, and
she never said.
Had, I don't know. Unfortunately, we caved, and both the British and the United States backed off, and that was back in.
I don't know, the way she spoke in the last debate.
You can find it on our website.
Literally not say.
Website on
the way
UNRWA funding anomaly. That's what it's called. UNRWA was predominantly funded, even though we're talking about Arab Palestinian refugees. 90% of UNRWA's funding came from the Western countries, came from the Europeans. 300 in the last years of US funding, $357 million donated just by the United States, the Obama government administration, to UNRWA.
This is where I would like. This is basically the same amount of money.
And at one stage, I think
most think it's.
Over the years, the US had donated to UNRWA some.
I would only give this side of the argument.
Under Obama,
then on the other hand,
almost $2 billion.
They throw money, but I should like it's not
settled by UNRWA during that period. Zero. So what's the money going for? If it's not to settle refugees, it's therefore UNRWA always was and will always be a political organization, has no humanitarian goal, to attack Israel.
Right.
To really bring this idea that the Palestinians will one day demographically and then democratically destroy Israel with what they call the right of return. Wake up, world. That's not going to happen. Right. It's not going to happen.
I hope Diamond. Let's see.
Stop using them as political.
Diamond.
What are
the
numbers?
Sapphire.
What are the how many refugees are there? So I looked at.
Oh, and no obsession.
UNRWA says 430,000 refugees. Studies show 150 to 175,000.
They get more money for more numbers
per capita. Right. Where are the the UNRWA refugees? Where are the Palestinian refugees? According to UNRWA, they are only in 5 places: Gaza, the West Bank, Judea and Samaria, Lebanon, Syria, and Jordan. None of them have moved anywhere around the world. None of them have ever got any type of other citizenship. Being an UNRWA refugee is literally, it's one of those things, it's a guarantee for longevity. UNRWA refugees, they've grown up in squalor, in refugee camps. Crazily, according to the UNRWA statistics, there are UNRWA refugees who have lived to over 100. Wow. Really? Wow. Where are they? And there's some, according to UNRWA, there's some 60 to 70,000 UNRWA refugees who are over 90 years old. In an area which the life expectancy is now maybe somewhere at that high.
No, technically, I would
living in refugee camps without
Naftali Bennett, Polymark. I just don't even know if it was held right.
It's just a
I think
fraud.
Yeah. It's like when.
So I actually published that study.
I don't know. It's
was
hard to
at
get.
one stage to put up a population dashboard.
But now he might be
those statistics for. We then
Prime Minister without the Arab part.
A week later,
or without one.
That population dashboard no longer exists. It is inaccessible.
I bet.
They have what to hide.
Wow, that's amazing. Okay, so that's
It's basically almost at the
we're gonna do a second video.
spot as
This is such an amazing conversation here, a wealth of knowledge, and I want to know more about what's going on in Judea Samaria. So first off, thank you so much for talking about the death penalty. I think that's going to clear up a lot of confusion, and also UNRWA and how much money America has really spent to help eliminate terrorism, just to actually strengthen it. It's incredible. Yeah. Anyways, all right, thank you so much.
He's an UNRWA refugee.
Absolutely.
Oh, it's the right to be offensive. That's always the conversation around free speech now, and Nobody's been tackling this topic better these days than Katie Hopkins.
Yeah,
Let's
that's
take a look at this clip from the Cambridge Union.
I'm going to offend you by saying that, but your statements are beyond just causing frivolous offence, aren't they? They're to mask an extremely nefarious and actually violent agenda.
Let me just
say that again. They're to mask an extremely nefarious and violent agenda. Would you say calling myself a spaz is a violent agenda? Pardon? What did you say?
I said you called for a final solution against Muslims.
That's not true either. I called for a final solution to Islamist terror in this country. And there are things that you might not want to hear, but those things are absolutely true. Sir Jim Ratcliffe, what he said was completely right. And to the point of our individual over here who said, why not refute the point?
finals.
Why not go to the
Let me
point
see.
instead of just asking people
I
to
think she doesn't, or if she does, then she.
of the matter, and it's never the facts that people go to. Yes.
Since you were talking about your right to offend,
Yes.
would it be okay with you if I...
Yeah, I don't get why she wants
Of course.
thematically genocidal.
Could you do less hand wiggling and do the talking?
What did you say, Miss Biggest Snob in England?
Okay.
She is the very radical though. If she says that,
So no.
Order, please.
genocide of the Muslim. Deporting is. I feel like why not deport them?
Thank you. If we can let the
That's
speaker continue.
that's already levels, like so many levels below how bad it final solution. Then I would support.
I encourage points of order from the floor, and I don't want to humiliate you further than you've already humiliated yourself. So I think it's important that I move on. So if we were to measure offence, and then we find someone, the weakest person, to measure how much is permissible, some of you come pre-programmed with.
Oh, somehow I feel like left wing laugh at that because they I don't know. Somehow it works.
Pro-bisexual, queer, curious ally with a nut allergy is pre-programmed, and probably
Yeah, that is getting cheap.
It's
Like,
pre-programmed to be offended.
what university?
And that is precisely the issue. Why are we not? No, Teddy. Why are we not? I'll see you after. Why are we not raising people strong? Why are we not challenging people and offending them to build them strong? When I went through the Royal Military Academy, Sandhurst, the point is that your sinews are tested and made strong by being tested. And the reason that people are offended, in truth, is because you touch upon something that hurts them. And it hurts them because when we don't know ourselves well, we can be offended because we are not strong enough. I urge you, good young people of the Cambridge Union, do allow yourself to be offended. Do know yourself, because when you know yourself, you can rise above it. And I urge you to let your life be full of all the feelings, all the dirty lot of it, including the ability to feel what it's like to be offended. My darlings, we will vote.
I feel like if Kamala Harris
This House defends the right.
would be worst for Israel than I would even expect, probably. And then Israel would just stop listening to the US. I feel like that would have happened.
I'm allowed go.
I just have a question regarding why do you consider someone feeling their emotions to be a weakness necessarily? Because it's not about the fact that people feel their emotions, and
Agreed.
how they react to it.
100%.
Why do you phrase it in a manner that just seems like whoever feels any sort of emotion is weak?
Yeah. No, I agree with you entirely, actually. I think the ability to feel the emotion of being offended is so important in order to be able to understand why it upsets you, in order to be able to recover from it. And I speak this as someone who has been offended probably more than most. I was tricked into receiving award. No, and the way that you deal with that, humiliation on an international scale. And the only way way you can deal with that is to know that you turned up like you said you would. You did what you said you would. You were nice to all the staff there, and you went home. There are some times you have to leave the uncomfortable bits with the people that did them to you, but you have to know yourself. So don't misunderstand me in terms of...
No back and forth, I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Oh, I'll see you at the bar.
I don't even need to
Thank you.
hear them.
So, my darlings, go into life. Let us not tiptoe around life. Let us not tiptoe around speech. Let us not tiptoe around each other. Let us dress
But what?
as Nazi
Maybe
allies
it's
and
not the
strike
same
boldly
code. Yeah,
and
it's.
cause offence if we must.
But it's the
But
same
let's try
thing.
and make ourselves strong so that we can live bigger, better, fuller lives. Thank you for listening to me. Appreciate you.
Those of you guys in my audience in Israel, I just wanted to give you guys a heads up. I am going to be giving a speech this Monday in Jerusalem. All the details will be right here on screen so you guys can see about the Farhud, speaking about the expulsion of the Jews of Iraq, what happened to my grandparents. So if you're in Jerusalem, if you're in Israel, please try to make it out. It'll be an amazing event.
Well, I couldn't agree more with Katie Hopkins on this specific
Oh, I
thing.
thought he was gonna say
I
what
don't necessarily agree with her on, but this specific thing I agree with her on completely. There is no point in having yourself be coddled your entire life and
Yeah, I don't
safe
agree.
from events.
Final,
I
so
lived in a
that's
in a
pretty
line of
dumb.
work where all I've done for the last 10
There's
years
better
has been
ways to get rid of money
annihilated
than
by the
to.
internet every day that I go on it. People pick apart.
That's
the most
literally the
offensive
final.
things, the most
If they
insecure
actually
things.
do that,
My
it's
nose, my
like.
acne scars, my weight, anything they can.
I don't think she's
to bring
even
me down.
for
But you know
to
what it does? It makes you stronger.
spread
When
it
you hear
the
it so much,
second they just
it actually eventually
genocide
doesn't
even
fuck anymore.
start
I don't care.
genociding.
You can't offend. Tall is unoffendable. Actually, it's probably a little bit.
But that's what the final
But I can't get offended, and that's something that I really value about this line of work. Having to be in the limelight all the time, and not having to be. I chose to be in the limelight and do this as a work as a YouTuber. It just puts you up to criticism. People criticize you. They come for the parts of you that are most insecure, and developing that armor around you is one of the most amazing things you can do. Here's Katie Hopkins again attending a Muslim protest and asking if Islam is so great, why are you in a Christian country?
Hating on Muslims again. Hating on Muslims again. Are you getting paid? Are you getting paid for hating on Muslims?
I would say New York City isn't safe for. I would say it's possible, but like the U.S. like I don't agree. I think it's not like European.
Hating on Muslims. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk.
Islam is so great. Why are you in my country?
This is not a Christian country, number one. It's a secular country. It is not governed by Christian rules. It is not governed. You don't speak it. Sorry. No.
Okay, let's go. That was. I don't have the teleport fund. I need 500. Oh. Oh, I thought he was tall first.
Why do you hate on Muslims? How much do you get paid for that?
Tell me if it's
How much?
Does look like tall a bit, but you can tell he's Muslim, and you can tell tall.
Why do you come to England?
Maybe you can't tell he's.
Are in Muslim lands. If you knew your
But this guy can't be Jewish. This guy, I think. I don't know. I've been watching him for so long, so automatically
Valid question.
trained.
Why do they keep coming
I don't know.
Why do they keep even if a majority of Muslims are in Muslim lands? Why do they keep coming to Christian countries in the millions, in droves? Why do they keep doing that? If it's so great to be in a Muslim country, why do you keep immigrating in droves to Muslim countries or to Christian countries? Why do you do this? Somebody must have an answer.
Working across teams is tough, but Asana helps you handle it. Asana AI can spot roadblocks and assign work to keep everything on track. That's how work gets handled. Visit us at asana.com.
It looks like Frogan has lost the lawsuit.
For the fortunate souls who have no clue who Frogan is.
I have no pity at all for any fucking soldiers. U.S. military? Who fucking who? I hope you get PTSD. And I hope you get no health insurance when you get back into fucking America.
Frogan breaks down in tears after her friend calls her out for constantly begging for rent money.
And Twitch streaming sucks. I fucking hate it. It's been bad for a few months.
Forget about the money and just have fun.
It's my job, though. I have to focus on the fucking money.
It's not that I wanted these people to steal my video. It's that I knew they would. Reaction by exiting.
I suggest you all watch it through other people as well.
It's the
You know, I could say he's a bit cruel.
Okay.
You know what? I don't.
Frogan speaks about the lawsuit and the news
Listen.
and the default judgments.
I mean, I don't care if she does something illegal.
Gift card so I can use my balance.
I'm so confused.
Really let down. I don't think you guys realize that the lawsuit is still going.
So let me get this straight. She's sitting there buying Steam gift cards so she can play Subnautica 2 while she at the same time has a GoFundMe running for a lawsuit that she didn't even respond to that's now going into a default judgment. I donated $200 to your GoFundMe. Super disappointed as to the lack of clarity where that money went. Really a letdown, sad face. This dude decided to give Frogan $200. That's not $200. That's 200 cheeseburgers.
The lawsuit's still on.
I don't think you guys realize.
Where can you get 200 cheeseburgers for that much?
This lawsuit.
How are you fighting it? You didn't even respond.
I think he's
What do you mean
making
you're fighting it.
not really saying that burgers are $1. I don't
Still
think.
ongoing.
Well, yeah, they have to figure out how much money you owe them.
Nobody won, nobody lost.
Well, a default judgment means you lose.
It is still ongoing. They said you lost. Well, they don't know what they're talking about.
It's
I mean,
so
she's
over.
right. She's right. It's just that she's probably gonna.
Documents, you'd know what was going on.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I read the documents as well. Yeah, a judgment? There's no judgment.
But why isn't she coping on the fact that she's probably gonna win?
I think she's confused because I've seen clips.
Needs
of her
to do
saying,
something
"Oh, you guys
about
think the suit is over? It's far from over. It's
Yeah.
still going on." No, you lost. They failed to.
Will.
respond. And what's crazy is we gave them so much time. Like she has no.
Well, I agree with Frogan, but like.
It means she loses by default because she did not mount a response. It basically all that's left is for the judge to determine the damages.
Do you think that maybe she's going around saying she didn't lose so people keep donating?
I don't know what's going through her head because she seems to think she hasn't lost. But I promise you, Frogan, you have lost.
No filing whatsoever from Frogan.
I disagree.
$40,000.
I like technical.
That
she wasn't.
She pocketed.
I like technical.
By default, it's almost like
And
an
she
damage
didn't
in most
lose.
cases, which is going to be like 150,000. I
Bill.
don't think she thinks she can.
I mean, it's a really high chance will lose, but it's
Hassan
like
will
she
help her.
didn't
He
lose.
should. It's one of his fucking mods. If he's gonna help her, you won't know about it. Yeah, because it's not gonna happen.
Oh, socialist, why won't he give these guys money? Trust me, if I offer support, you won't know about it.
I guess now we know why we don't know about it.
I also want to make clear that I did not receive any support, financial or otherwise, from Hassan Piker, especially after he hinted he might help me behind the scenes.
Base? Base?
The figures are consumers, brother. They are no different.
Oh, this is so weird.
Whoa. What's that? I just built a budgeting app in Base 44.
Guys. Well, my friends, this week has been a real mixed bag, I've got to say. We started with so much exciting new insights and footage to pull apart and dive right into, but then, ouch, this pad rocket explosion, which looks to have potentially been the most powerful of all time, shook the entire industry. It once again reminds us that creating game-changing rockets is
Such as the Jeff Bezos rockets. I even rarely watch the Small Falcon 9, so watching Jeff Bezos.
Hey, Marcus House with you here, and leading with this unfortunate news from the Cape on Thursday, this has been a true disaster. If you haven't seen all the terrifying videos already, stop by Spaceflight Now and NSF, because this was...
I hope no one died.
Blue Origin had their newly constructed first and second stage of New Glenn being tested at Launch Complex 39A. They were really...
I agree with Asmongold. I'm happy.
Just a little earlier would be for Amazon LEO satellites. The new
Even though I think
necessary was being prepared for that
kind of relatively rockets will return basically nothing to Earth.
For this test, the payload was
basically
on board,
nothing.
so the LEO satellites are currently safe. The fully
And,
was prepared on Thursday for its hot fire test,
and
it
it's
looks like the first attempt was aborted that evening.
going
I say
to,
that because we could
like,
see
for the
auto-menu system in
future
action
base.
without the following
Right now it
issue
won't
here.
do.
After some waiting for the next attempt, though, these were the horrific views that greeted us from NSF's cameras thanks to Jerry Pike, and I've synced the audio of the explosion because obviously there was quite the delay before the sound hits the camera.
But like this, the bigger the explosion is, the more the curve is. So like that means they might actually be better than space the longer. But it doesn't mean.
All personnel were safe. The pad, though, which is the only pad that they have for new Glenn launches, not even close, as we can clearly see thanks to Greg Scott flying above for us here the following day. Just look.
I don't like this. Oh wait, this process is the worst.
Here, something at the aft end of the booster seems to have triggered this explosion. There is plenty of speculation out there that a BE4 engine might have
Let me do the.
cascade of issues. This footage from Spaceflight Now is one of the best views.
I don't want to do
so
the.
do give them a follow if you're not already. You can see once that upper stage starts to fall, that turns an already.
Oh yeah, but I can't even.
Something catastrophic for Blue Origin. Check out this detonation shockwave whip out of screen. Sadly, there is no official word yet detailing the breakdown of the event. Given the widespread damage, they may even need to inspect the entire current engine inventory, and it's possible
Yeah, I can
the
just.
booster Never Tell Me the Odds is also damaged.
I'm gonna try to buy as many of my
Four engines to the
stats.
launch line, so perhaps Vulcan's first stage will be able to kick along on schedule, but it is all just wild speculation right now. I mean, just look at this. There was debris flying miles from the launch pad, which included the various pressure vessels, it seems. They've had so much damage to the transporter erector that it is certainly a complete write-off. One of the lightning towers had fallen, and the other has a sizable dent and snap in the side of it here. I'm wondering at this point if they will try to repair that, or if it's a write-off too. That isn't even touching on the obvious damage at the pad, the deluge systems, and everything involved right at ground zero. One thing I will say is that the Space Force would have certainly got a lot of great data on this explosion, so for the first time, we may have solid information coming on how an energetic explosion like this evolves.
Weird how there's so little reports.
And oxygen. The pad was burning for hours after this event. There is plenty of chatter out there stating that this may be the largest ground-based rocket explosion in history, but the jury is still out until we have the data to back that up. If not, it is certainly the largest pad rocket explosion since the Soviet N-1 blew up right after liftoff in 1969. Anyway, with the monster repair work to come, many of us are thinking that Blue Origin may decide to just prepare for the next, more powerful New Glenn generation in the meantime. So, depending on what they choose to do, it wouldn't surprise me at all if we don't see New Glenn fly for at least 12 months. I sure hope I'm wrong about that, but the resulting issues that come with NASA's Artemis plans have just hit a monstrous roadblock because
I can realize
some
one.
very key parts of those missions, not just for the of course, but as a delivery vehicle for a whole bunch
That's
of
way more.
lunar payloads. Okay, so with that terrible news out of the way, lots
There's
of
a
fun
billion.
stuff to dive into as well. So let's change gears.
Wait, I
Since Starship
for some
was
reason
almost
can't.
right on a week ago,
Maybe it's
SpaceX
octillion
has
then.
released
Oh
so
yeah,
much
but
more,
that's
which has certainly helped give us a
maybe
much
that's
better
not
idea
that
of
much.
what actually happened during the mission. We've had some
Now I can
staggering photos released by
finally
of the
go
launch,
for
of
it.
course, but their video of the liftoff here in beautiful 4K is really incredible. This is obviously in slow motion.
Sadly, the
detail
next
that we can see
level
in
is
this
also
speed
pretty
is
hard
really
to do.
something remarkable. You can see as Starship
And I
moves
can
toward
see
the top of the tower,
Starlight
the
stage
helium
of this
hurling shockwaves
world
all
is
over the field of view that we have. I mean, it almost feels like the shockwaves have shockwaves here. For sure, the SpaceX media team have pulled out all the cards on this mission. As a quick side note though, RGV Aerial Photography also managed to pull off a flight during the launch, which was extremely epic. Now, the thrust of this version 3 Starship, by the way, is quite different to previous versions of Starship, and I took a bunch of time to put together a record of the flight right up to stage separation so that you can really clearly see the difference here between this flight and the previous Flight Test 11.
At Chamberlain University, we know what those alarms mean and how nurses rise to meet the moment with a rush of confidence. But we know quiet moments too, when the beeps are steady and compassion is all someone needs. We know because we're the #1 largest nursing school in the U.S., and we prepare nurses to own moments like these. To answer the call, visit chamberlain.edu. Chamberlain University. Belong to something greater. Certified to operate by Chef.
Now, I noticed that there was about 2 seconds difference at the moment that we first see ignition fire, so to really make things fair, we need to account for that. Flight 12 on the right here clearly leaves the pad much faster. Now that means a very clear thrust to weight difference, and obviously the higher the thrust to weight ratio, the faster that it will accelerate away from the pad. Interestingly, it almost seems like SpaceX start holding
That's
Flight
not
12
the
back
worst.
around the 45-second mark. Perhaps because
But
they
now
don't
I'm gonna
put
have
too much
an
dynamic pressure on the vehicle compared to previous flights. If we go right through to max Q, it is faster, but only by a little over 200 kilometers per hour.
Yeah, see how
I think
slow
that the
it is?
version 3 hasn't really demonstrated that it is a lot more powerful at this point. Well, SpaceX looked to have unleashed the full fury at this moment. By 1 minute and 20 seconds in, you can really see the speed now accelerating faster in comparison.
It is very
If you
slow.
look back at this chart second by second, the speed curve is very clear now. Even right at 100 seconds into flight as they lose this outer Raptor engine, that hasn't made any significant change to the curve, so everything may have just ramped up power to immediately compensate for that roughly 3% loss of thrust. The main point that I'm trying to make clear here is that MECO, or most engines cutoff, happens about 15 seconds earlier with Flight 12. Again, this is still counting for that 2-second delay at liftoff, but yet
Wait,
it's
I
almost
just need the.
exactly 1100 kilometers.
Wait, how much do I have?
That is actually quite
I
a
need
huge
8.
difference. Now, obviously, chaos erupted here
So-
right after the hot staging and that boost
Yes.
back burn. SpaceX released
Let
a
me see,
statement
maybe I
saying
can
following stage
on this
separation,
one.
the Super Heavy booster performed a directional flip maneuver and attempted its boost back burn. It was unable to light all planned engines and
I'm
performed
in-
a partial boost back burn that ended early. So yes, this didn't really tell us much that we hadn't clearly seen. They go on to say that Super Heavy attempted to reignite its engines for the landing before experiencing a hard splashdown. Again, that's pretty obvious, so SpaceX didn't really tell us much about
Diamond.
the booster. Anyway, I'm going to come right back to this.
One
with some
diamond.
thoughts. First, though, let's compare the second stage numbers. Now, through that initial ascent, we also recorded altitude, but we lose
Okay, 500 Ks.
separation. This graph sort of looks a bit deceiving because at hot stage
Billion?
here, Flight 12 looks like it is ahead in the graph. That is just because of how much faster it hits the stage separation point. An actual fact, Flight 12 separates at just under 52 kilometers in altitude. Flight 11, roughly 15 seconds later, is separating just
Yeah, I don't need that
8
actually.
kilometers in altitude.
That's good.
Now we
That's
don't use
fine.
the altitude readout back again until we get up to about 7 minutes into the flight. At this point, Flight 12 is about 25 kilometers higher, but given that we had lost a vacuum engine about 4 minutes earlier, at this point, Flight 11 is just starting to pass the speed of Flight 12. Flight 11, of course, had the second engine cutoff complete almost bang on the 9-minute mark, but Flight 12, with its missing engine, needed to burn away for another 17 seconds or so to hit the correct speed. Indeed, losing almost 17% of your thrust that early on had a big impact, but even with that, being only 17 seconds late there while having much more significant payload on board is pretty awesome. I can't wait to compare all these numbers to the next mission if we have flawless engine performance right through. Now the
Wait, let's
Starship
see.
phase of
Why
that
does
had
it
some new speed
don't have one?
introduced by SpaceX. Gosh, these look almost
I have
taken
10
right
though.
out of Cyberpunk or something. Looking at these, imagine the near future of these Starship missions
I
flying
don't-
almost daily.
wait, I have
Use
10
those to
room-
use Starlink satellites into orbit, or of course the other even more advanced constellations planned soon after. It's been quite
Was
interesting
it
watching
nice?
SpaceX's plans with data centers
No.
recently. You may have noticed that Anthropic, which makes Claude AI tools among other products, have partnered with SpaceX to substantially increase compute capacity. Speaking of, a big thanks to Outskill sponsoring this video today, and interestingly, they're running what they call a Claudeathon. It's a deep dive into Claude and its many uses, along with over 10 other AI tools, and it's happening this weekend
Not
from
that
10
much.
AM to 7 PM Eastern Time. If you want to learn more about these tools taking the world by storm, they are giving away 1,000
That's
free
it.
seats for a limited time, and you get mentored
Oh,
by
Jay,
leaders
yeah, I
from
know. I
Microsoft,
need a.
Google, Amazon, and Nvidia,
Oh,
companies that are at the forefront of this industry. 10 million people around the world have already attended this, and with a 4.9 out of 5 on Trustpilot, it is a highly recommended way to get stuck into understanding this industry. In the workshop, you'll be doing deep research on Claude and building your own artifacts and dashboards. With that, you'll create full presentations using Claude and set up Claude connections such as Indeed to automate your job search. Now, there is loads more crammed into this. With other AI tools packed in, you will learn how to build custom GPTs and agents, generate visuals, and at the end of it, be in a situation to automate your work week. If you sign up now, as a bonus, you get 50 secret Claude codes, an AI prompt library, and a personalized AI toolkit builder. Again, all for free. So if you want to learn and stay ahead, the link is right there in the description, or simply scan the QR code right there to get registered. Thank you, Outskill. Okay, so back to all this amazing new Flight 12 awesomeness shared by SpaceX this week. This shot here is from the Super Heavy watching the Starship fly away with all 6 engines lit up, and that's nice plume interactions between there looking sweet too. This one though is actually my new desktop background at this point. Everything in the Starship skirt is just so beautifully clean now. I absolutely love it, and those exhaust plumes, just magic. With that, we have an external view of the Starship with Earth below there, decorated with all that unique and ever-changing cover. All the upgraded cameras capable of 4K video streaming at every phase of the mission is something that we can't really be grateful for. I think the most awesome.
Let's go in here for a substantial.
SpaceX through the week though were these new
Oh, it's going faster. Maybe not.
Just look at
yeah, I feel like it is. Let's just go to 100 bill.
Demonstrating beautifully that the drone cameras being used are the best that we have seen to date. Given that SpaceX were only using the 2 engines for the landing burn this time, the thrust vectoring control that we have seen
sadly, I have.
is incredible. Look at them both
But
glance
it's
out
way
in different
faster.
directions to give Starship that needed control. It's bananas.
Bananas.
If you look really closely here, you can see that
Bananas.
at the end, the ship starts rotating quickly, almost like a final
Wait, is it?
pirouette.
Oh, here.
When we were watching this live, we couldn't really see this.
Now we can
rotation.
teleport
It
straight
looked
here.
like it was going to just fall onto its belly. From above, though, as it switched
Oh, no,
to
we
the
can't.
top view, it
We can
obviously landed
teleport
on its back, and that seemed
here, and then we can.
with that rotation.
Don't need to go
Now,
through.
that totally makes sense. Now we got a few stills largely looking to have been sampled from that same point of view, but then check this. From the Starlink account, a totally different angle watching from this direction.
Really?
This is obviously video stabilized
Then we need
from the
another.
perspective of the horizon, but again, so thrilled that we get to see all this. Now back to that hot staging separation and boost back, we've had fun trying to
Oh no,
understand what
sadly
went
it's
wrong
still.
with the Super Heavy after that event. There's an important factor in understanding this, and we need to fix that first. The telemetry information, such as the engine diagrams and other readouts at the bottom of the screen, are actually well delayed from the live cameras streaming that beautiful footage back. It's a fairly lengthy delay too. Looking
Why
at
doesn't my
the
friend
stream,
like
you can
every?
see that those booster engines are lighting back up for the boost back burn, while the video has the booster
But it's
still directly facing the Starship. That can't be right, of course, and it isn't. Let's just rewind. To fix this issue, I thought we were best to watch the engine telemetry readout on the Starship as they fire up, and then match that to the first sign of fire here at the hot staging event. When we do that, we can clearly see that the camera stream is roughly 5 to 6 seconds behind. That is a big difference, so lining all that up, we've switched out the Super Heavy engine diagram to what we see from the cameras. Now we can step through that sequence without having those extra variables in mind. So the first thing to note is that this outer engine that shut off soon after max Q stays off for the rest of the flight as far as we can tell from any diagram that we have access to. We can likely ignore that engine from here on out as just a engine. As we enter most engines shut off, the center ring of Raptors shuts down, followed by every other engine in this neat sequence. So far, so good.
Okay,
As the ship engines fire up, now matching our camera footage very closely, we see it separate and the Super Heavy immediately starts to turn. Unlike before when everything was out of sync, you can now see the 5 engines lit right through that booster rotation, which was of course expected. Just
Can I-
after all the lit engines on the booster can be seen by the Starship camera, we then watch the boost back ignition sequence. Now, it looks like they tried to light up all 8 remaining engines on the center ring, but this one decided not to play ball. Now, as a side note, this sits right beside the outer dead engine, which is just an interesting thing, I think, to point out. You can even see that this matches the booster itself from what we see on cameras. Next, the outer 20 engines attempt to relight using every other engine first, but at this point we now see these middle 3 disappear all at once, and then every engine on that side of the booster rapidly flames out with them. Based on that, I think we can probably assume that
Okay,
something
where's
is
the-
ruptured internally, immediately starving the engines on that side, I suspect, but nothing official at this stage. There are still 10 engines lit though, 5 from the middle ring and 5 from the outside. The 5
Oh, here.
outers shut off, leaving the 5 from the middle ring, and they keep
Just
going
one more.
until the boost back sequence was supposed
See
to
if
be
I
finished.
can do-
That may be a short boost back burn, but remember, if all 33 had been used in this sequence, the boost back would have been a lot faster anyway. So if we reverse back a little here, there is also a chance that we may see 1 or 2 small explosions at around the same time the
Okay, I need to go until
with the
iron.
first set of Raptors all trying to
Let's-
start at the same time.
let's
may
go
well
to
just be
recovery.
interactions in the exhaust. Some of the engines look like they may perhaps burn for a little longer than the overlay shows, but sensors can probably play a little funny in each frame. Overall though, the telemetry graphic maintains a pretty faithful display of the engines that are ignited or shut down at any point in time. The cascading loss that appeared to flow from the right-hand side Raptors of the diagram is
Wait, I
interesting,
need
of course.
doors.
If you take a look within
Oh.
the version 3 Super Heavy model aft, thanks to
And now I
clever
can-
sleuthing work by Chameleon Circuit over time, we don't believe there are any baffles to limit damage from liquid oxygen sloshing around. This was, I suspect,
Wait, I think I have enough for the-
SpaceX had expected, and the mass of that oxygen smashing into various lines could cause a bunch of damage internally.
Probably I have
When you
enough.
see a cascade of engines flame out, it feels like that sort of issue. Like many, we are intrigued about why SpaceX wanted to use all 33 engines for boost back. All of that extra thrust would certainly mean that the booster
Let's
would
get-
swing out that horizontal velocity much faster, meaning that it is returning at less distance downrange. It would be a small saving for sure, but only if they can pull it off reliably in future. At least if they fired those outer 20 after the booster had completely flipped, that may have helped with any propellant sloshing issues. But yeah, I can't wait to see something official from all of this. So how far may it be until the next
Nice.
flight? Well, right now there isn't a lot to go on. However, Booster 20 should be about done and ready for cryo testing at this point, pending any alterations that SpaceX may want to do now that they have that data from Flight 12. The same goes for Ship 40, by the way. We suspect this already has its 6 Raptor 3 engines installed and is about ready for static fire by now. Until those vehicles roll out though, there is still plenty of other areas receiving lots of attention right now, which are ultimately aimed at
Okay.
increasing that flight
Awesome.
frequency. Check out Pad 1 being upgraded
Oh, yeah,
to
sure.
match Pad 2.
Sure.
The trench
And
excavation
then
is
next
well
one.
underway
What's that?
now, with the commodities bunker structure being fully assembled just to the side. This looks like a successful attempt to speed up the construction process while groundwork rips along beside. Off to the east, we can see the first patch of rebar and formwork laid out over the new expansion area, and this has now been poured.
Okay, so
With
that's
that,
good
the
then.
plane is now back over beside Pad 1, where they will soon be started with these
Gold,
tower upgrades.
iron, and
Remember,
then
SpaceX
I
needs
can
to install a
automatic.
brand new ship quick disconnect and all of its associated piping that runs down the tower. The new reinforced roof also needs to be installed, just as we saw recently at Pad 2, and then of course the bunker and winch system behind the tower needs to be replaced. All those systems are needed for the tower arms to move up and down the tower.
Oh my god.
Speaking
What
of,
about-
the arms will also
I
need
don't
their
know.
actuators swapped out for the brand new electromechanical ones. There's almost no part of this system
The
that is
arm-
still the same as it was before. Over here at the tank farm, where the crane was previously working to remove all the old methane tanks, they are already
Wait,
digging
ooh,
new concrete
wait,
piles
I think
for
we're
extra tanks
supposed to
be
go
installed.
here for
Over the road at the air separation unit, we can now
Sorry.
see larger pipes are being
Oh,
installed
it's pretty
between all
bad.
the different sections of heater equipment. These will transfer gases and propellants through the various stages of the process. You can see that the steel bunker around the compressors and motors is still being outfitted with rebar, which we see laying across various levels of the roof. That looks about ready to be poured actually. On the left wing over here, more of those electrical and cooling systems are being installed for when it's eventually time to power the site up.
I just get more.
To the build site, the monstrous
Yeah, let me
giga
just
boat
get
is
more.
now pushing through the 6th level of steel columns.
Sadly,
It's worth noting that the next level
just
7
get more.
will be the last, and this will include all the beams necessary for the roof. This is going to end up with a penthouse sort of setup similar to
I
those
just
at
need
the top
15.
of both megaways, although I'm not sure what the purpose of that will be just yet. You can see all that cladding on the lower levels climbing steadily since the last time that we updated you on the Gigabay. It is now wrapping all the way around the Star Factory side of the bay, and this will shortly make all 6 of these side doors much more obvious.
Heart Powered carries the torch for heart health by helping raise school meal nutrition standards for the nearly 30 million children who rely on school lunches. We are the heart of progress. We are the American Heart Association.
Grainger offers professional-grade products, easy reordering online, and 24/7 support, helping procurement managers keep buildings running so people can keep working. Call, click, or stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Yeah,
In the Sanchez area, some new orbital launch mount updates here for Pad 1. We have the 4 centerpieces belonging to the middle level on site. Parts for the bottom level have just this week been showing up and are already lifted onto the pedestal, so SpaceX are ready to begin months of welding work. With that, the new hardware for the horizontal booster transport is just over here too. Chrome Kiwi put together this nice animation on how it should come together. It looks to latch onto those hold down points of the booster, and it should allow it to rotate down while the top is lowered onto a support. It is going to be really strange seeing Starship hardware laying down for the first time. To go with that, the Maramak 31 drone ship nicknamed You'll Thank Me Later is heading to Starbase for some sort of transport rehearsal, we assume. We could see it exiting the port in Florida recently, and here it was arriving in Starbase just this week on NSF's cameras. So how are things going in Florida right now, you might ask? Well, just this week, the second tower crane which assisted in the construction of the Gigabay here was being disassembled now that it is at its full height. The tall crawler cranes surrounding the bay will install the remaining cladding and outfit the...
Did I just go like this?
Harry Stranger has also recently provided us with
You know what, let me just...
detailed satellite shots of
then
all
let's...
the Space Coast sites too, and the most notable changeover at 39A are these new barriers positioned
I think it's
at
the
the exit of the Starship flame trench with drains positioned in
So
the
let's
middle
put
collecting
on
water. That is useful now that they are beginning to get into the qualification and certification part of the pad's construction as it comes to life. We of course had all those sneaky views of the
It's good to like...
tower components coming together around Pad
Okay.
39A, which were brand new to all of us during last week's launch broadcast. Just because we are not allowed to get in close to the area, it's always wonderful to see SpaceX's shared content
Yeah, it's a bit...
together in high definition. I do wish we could have more of this sort of thing, so I hope we get to see the media team gearing up for some more of those documentary releases. We can see the ship quick disconnector being installed and crossing over to the Gigabay at the Roblox site nearby. That monster construction work shows that although it is a big job just to share the colossal work in Texas, an equal push is going on right here. Now, Space Launch Complex 37, which is SpaceX's largest launch site to date, is getting massive overhauls. Pad 1 over here has had its trench near completely excavated. The tower base has been done for quite some time now, and the crane is laying down here nearby waiting to begin stacking all these tower modules stored toward the lower end of the site. In the meantime, they have already begun to build sections of the roof reinforcements similar to what we see at Pad 2 in Starbase.
Oh wait, actually, let's go.
We have a few quick missions sprinkled through the week too, of course. Group 1047 was roaring off the pad on Monday morning from Space Launch Complex 40 with another batch of 29 satellites on board. Falcon 9 booster 1078, a true veteran on its 28th flight, and a shortfall of gravitas was waiting downrange for that touchdown. Group 1737 was away across the country from California on Tuesday morning with the next batch of 24. A fairly cloudy morning there from Vandenberg Space Force Base. Booster 1100 is only on landing number 6 in this one, so just a baby there as it touches down on Of Course I Still Love You. That just left Group 1053 back again from Space Launch Complex 40 on Friday morning. Remember, we only have 2 launches for Falcon 9 catches now, so everything from Florida is full of gravitas, so this was back out again since its catch on Monday. Landing 16 there.
Sure, it's not gonna be perfect, but we can do the...
On Tuesday this week, NASA dropped a whole bunch of new information on their moon base plans going forward. NASA has selected both Astrolab and Lunar Outpost to build rovers that would weigh somewhere around 1 ton. These need to be ready for lunar surface delivery in 2028. The budget allocated for both is pretty much the same. $219 million awarded to Astrolab for their CLV-1 rover, and $220 million is going to Lunar Outpost for their Pegasus rover. Although these awards aren't overly surprising, it is a nice extension to their existing contracts, so they are obviously proving that they have the capability to keep moving steadily forward. NASA wants these rockets to have a 200-kilometer range, but they also need to have the capability to either be driven by astronauts on the mission or driven autonomously from Earth-based operators. Now, the communications delay to the moon is really only about 2.5 seconds, so they can largely drive live, I imagine, which would be pretty awesome to watch. Now, NASA also announced that Blue Origin is going to deliver both these rovers to the moon on separate missions with the evolving Mark 1 lander. For both delivery contracts, they have been awarded just over $280 million. It seems pretty bittersweet reporting on that point right now, though, because who knows how long it may be for New Glenn to be flight capable again after this catastrophe. It wouldn't surprise me at all if NASA needs to now retract this offering and make a new plan. Your guess is as good as mine on that right now, but hopefully we'll have some clarity on that soon. So yes, those
still
announcements.
I'll just
also talked a little bit
there.
About the moon plan. What they
The
said
recovery.
is they want to use those drones to essentially set up a moon base perimeter. The primary mission for these drones is to search for water ice in the constantly dark areas, along with picking up any other useful data. Once these are about out of propellant though, NASA wants them to then land at each corner of the moon base perimeter. Within that area, they can then map out the future objectives and plan where the actual moon base hab would be installed. Even though at this point the drones would be retired, just having them equipped with beacons and reflectors would be very useful for future missions. So with that, my friends, we reach the end of all that exciting stuff this week. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, that subscribe button right there doesn't prove itself. If, by the way, you haven't had a chance to check out this video, that is right here. Thanks as always for watching all this way through. I'll catch you next weekend.
Then for this, I need to go.
Asmongold
A bit
claims
more.
that men are naturally more attractive than average. Hassan says this is gayer than having sex with a man. What's gay about having sex with a man? Like, it's not like really, like, that is... So, here's the thing, right? Is like, you can have sex with a dude and you can not be gay. Like, think about, for example, how many guys had wives and then they realized they were gay later on, and then they broke up, they got divorced, and they married a dude, right? It happens. So, like, did sleeping with that woman make them not gay? No. So then how could sleeping with a man make me gay? It doesn't even make sense.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about what.
That doesn't make you gay. Sleeping with a man, having sex with a dude, doesn't make you gay. And
I don't know.
Exactly. So, like, and think about it. It's gay logic. No, it's not gay logic. It's just the truth. Like, that's it. It's okay, bro. No, it's not. Guys, it's not super gay. It's not cope. It's nothing. This is just the way it is. The hole's getting deeper. Yeah, because it's getting deeper with levels of logic and reasoning and knowledge. Like, that's the reason why. No, you're right. And so, like, again, if you're a gay dude and you have a wife and you realize you're gay, but you had sex with your wife and you had kids, that doesn't mean that you weren't gay. You were gay all along. You just didn't know that you were gay, which means that having sex with somebody doesn't make you, like, you know, straight or gay. That's it. Nah, you messed up there? I'm telling you, that's what it is. It is. And yeah, there it is. It's not gay if you're doing the one pounding. I guess so. And men are naturally more attractive than women on average. That's why women need makeup. This isn't me being gay. It's science. This isn't me being gay, having gay sex. Well, the thing is that, you know what?
Well, I'm a boy, so I'm attracted. I don't know. He's kind of not
I really do. I
having
feel bad
good
for those
logic.
guys because they don't understand. They don't exist on the wavelength that I exist on. And so they have to be afraid of even having these kinds of conversations. I'm not afraid of having this kind of a conversation.
Yeah, they're all like he's gay. Yeah, I agree. What is he saying, bro?
Because to me, that's just the way it is, right? The logic sounds similar. You're so straight. Yeah. Yeah, you're so straight. Even if you had gay sex, it wouldn't be gay. That's right. Like, that's how straight I am. That's how confident I am. I could have sex with a man, and it would be straight. That's how straight I am. Okay?
I'm kind of disagreeing with him, but this specific part, like him.
Classic Master and Rage Bait? No, I'm being serious. And by the way, there is logic to all of this, everything like that. There's nothing that's weird, okay? And so, what is the
Oh, see, that's
than women? Okay, 50. Okay, most people disagree with me on this take. There's a lot of people that were upset about me saying this. I appreciate bringing up the old tweet. Okay, yeah, this is a person that says, look at me. You
Let's
have
go
a
to
Habsburg corpse. So this is a result of gratuitous inbreeding. You know what's really crazy? It is like a 1-for-1. It is. Wow.
NG. And that's it.
Hey, guys, look, listen. That's just the way it is, okay? Look, that's the way it happens. And from now, 50 years from now, no, this was 150 years ago. Wait, when was
Let's go to the top.
Do you remember?
Oh, those ones were just.
I don't know, guys. What do you think? What do you think? Give me a minute.
Yeah, how much is that's correct. How many of these are?
How are we doing? Was that close? Yeah, was that close or not? What do you think?
And rebirth.
Content? I guess so. So wrong hands? No, I don't want to switch it up again. You guys, if you want to meme it, you could Photoshop it yourself, okay? So corpses are you. I guess so.
No, I first need a.
And it's more Cyrax, maybe. But like, yeah, no, and you're right. Do you remember what I said?
Then I can do everything.
Every single time that there is an exhumed corpse from 1,000 years ago, that everybody tags me in it and they say, "Look who it is." Like again, like I made this joke. I was talking about it as like a a funny thing, but point proven, right? It happened again. So there you go. And music's too loud. It's too loud. I can't even fucking hear it. What are you talking about?
Oh no, now I can.
So, corpses mogging your hairline? Yeah, apparently the AI that it did, it changed the guy's hairline, which is, I think, really funny. And disagree, females are desirable simply by existing. Exactly, which is why they don't need... See, George doesn't understand it. See, all of these guys are so afraid of being gay that they can't be straight. I think that in order to truly be straight, you have to be willing to be gay.
What?
To sound... No. Actually, well, no. Let me... All right, wait a second. Okay, let me take a step back. You have to be willing to sound gay sometimes. What is this here? You still have an out? Just you have this anytime I call you gay?
Bro, he's really messing what he's saying up. You're really this like...
gay guy?
No kidding.
Well, I'm not coming out, though.
Wait a minute. What are you revealing here today?
I'm not revealing anything. I'm saying I'm deeply closeted.
Yeah.
Well, that means you're gay.
No.
Well, I wouldn't say that. Why would I say that? I'm deeply closeted.
Yeah.
No,
See?
That means
See,
you're
guys?
very, very gay.
Damn,
but you
am I?
want to come out. You're so closeted.
That I refuse to say I'm gay.
Right.
Exactly.
But that... doesn't that mean you're gay?
Hey,
No.
Easy, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, this book will reveal much.
This guy, bro, he was such a legend. He really was. Oh my fucking god, that shit is funny.
Let me go through this. Okay.
Now, I guess so.
No.
Mention Asgol is not mad at all. Made a 43-minute video. What is this here?
And
9.
It was a wonderful time. There was a brief moment where we mentioned Asmongold.
Yeah.
That brief moment was approximately 2 minutes long.
That's nice.
So, of course, as expected, Asmongold, who is not mad at all, who's not...
7.
Did you really have to do that? Did you really have to go and use the fucking sound?
1.
Really?
Crashing out at all. Bruh. Turned around and made a 43-minute video.
What are you jealous?
Okay, 2 7.
Jealous? I mean, yeah, that's what I can do. I can do that.
Instead of like arguing on... Instead of
Isn't it 3,000?
or arguing or debating on the issues, if there is like any sort of disagreement.
Oh wait, it is
basically
3,000.
saying my opposition is very angry and they're crashing out and therefore I
2703.
always be like, oh, you got owned and you were
And what is the
mad. You got owned and you were unbelievably
Here,
mad.
let's just
And I am not mad or owned at all.
1E2953.
He's pretending to be me, right? I think he's pretending to be me.
Even though I made a 43-minute video
Okay, yes,
about
he is.
your
Okay.
1-minute conversation.
I was confused because, you know, usually... Okay,
that
all right.
You had, right?
Yes.
Just, you know, I find it very funny that these guys will just like farm always like 1-minute mention for like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And then their cope always is, oh, I wasn't even mad. I was
First,
just farming.
white gems. Okay, so white gems.
I mean, like, I think Stavros is really funny. I think,
Wait, oh, this one is the one I should...
A lot of guys have left this politics to get with women. I do. I think that if you ask most guys, I think most guys act more woke than they actually are in order to appeal to women. I think it's true. So, like, really, that's a whole separate thing. So,
It's
like,
true.
What I said was true.
His entire commentary around this was that Stavros is fat and I'm a leftist to get...
I think it...
I didn't say that you were. I said that's the reason why guys do it. That's the reason why. And also, I feel like that's very fair. Like, I didn't get personal. I didn't...
1 billion?
Mean. I said, shut up, fatty, because I think he's funny, so he wants to make fun of the way I look.
why
So
is-
I say, okay, shut up, fatty. I think this is the
Okay.
most reasonable...
And
I wasn't
rebirth.
trying to get personal with it or anything.
10 times. Wait, let's do the rebirth.
Jesus Christ.
10 times.
Yeah, I look like a ghoul. He's fat.
8,000. 1.
And I think you guys
8.
already know my take on this. It's like, it's unbelievable copium from like early 2010s.
Okay, well, why don't you ask, like, so why do you think that there are so many instances? So, like, for example, right, you can look at different vectors of, like, analysis, right? So you can look at the differences between, like, young women and young men's political views, whereas, like, young men's political views have generally stayed the same. They've become slightly more conservative, but young women have become increasingly, substantially more liberal and more leftist, right? This is what's happened. And I think that if you also look at, for example, polling of people that say that they underreport their actual opinions on things like gender identity, I think that you can cross correlate to that to being that guys are underreporting this in order to be socially accepted by women. I think so. And like also just as, and again, like I can't, he would never accept this, right? But like I'll ask my chat, like how many of you guys have nerfed some of your political views to make yourself more appealing to a woman before? How many of you guys have done that?
I hope I don't.
Me.
I think I kind of...
Only everybody, right?
I
So,
even
mean,
think I did,
this is
but
a
like...
random sample, et
I
cetera, but
kind
I do
of
think
did
that
say
that's
it's
true. I think it's
my
true.
opinion.
This happens.
When
Actually, no, I don't think it did, but I'm a rare bro.
Just so you can have sex with women.
Yeah.
No.
I don't think that, no, I think that for some people, they definitely do that. They do. And to say that's not true is very silly. Like, why do you think there's all these male...
I think it's the other way around as well.
I don't think
But
I don't think I have.
Why do you think that, you know, like, again, it sounds bad, right? Why do you think that,
For
you know,
real?
there are a bunch of, like, weird school teachers and, like, you know, fucking other people in roles that, you know, are around young kids that turn out to be creeps? Well, it's because you fish where the fish are. There's a lot of guys that get involved in this because they want to meet women. I think that's absolutely what happens. I'm not saying all people are like that, but I think there's a huge strain of it, and it's very pronounced.
Let's do this one.
For
Fight
women to find me attractive. Like
Somebody took this personally. I wasn't even talking about him.
that's not. I'm sure it doesn't hurt. Like I'm sure my politics, my genuine political opinions probably don't hurt, but that's not.
Yeah.
You know. That's not the case. That's not the point. Right?
Why do people listen to that fucking guy? He's fucking disgusting.
Shut up, fatty. What are you mad for?
Oh, fucking got him.
Well, what do you want me to say? Like, do you want me to get really mad? Like, what am I supposed to say? Yeah, it's not a big deal. God
16.
damn. Like, do you want me to get really personal and get super mad about this? I don't care. God
Dude,
damn.
calling Stavros Halkias shut up fatty.
I don't know what that is.
Awesome.
And do you think, like, how many ghoul jokes do people make about me? Oh my god. Shut up. What are you talking about, fatty? Call me.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
What?
Not mad. Don't put it in the newspaper that I am mad. I am not mad. I guess
Oh, crystals is the most. Okay, so that's better, because now I know. Two
You
crystals.
smell bad too. It's not just him.
Two
I think you
crystal.
probably smell bad.
Why is he saying that I would smell bad?
Yeah.
I don't.
Because you used to be fat. You're trans fat.
Trans
also,
fat, damn.
you're eating food all the time. Hassan's sitting on his stream all the time eating food. He can't stop eating food. And so if you eat that much food, you're probably going to be sweating out that food. It's going to make you smell bad. That's the reason why. It's pretty simple.
Wait, what is this one?
Like Turkish or something, bro?
That's exactly the reason why. It's because of your ethnicity. That's totally what I meant.
You don't have to sweat to smell bad. You look
I
like you
know.
smell
I
bad
know.
sitting. you, you smell bad standing in place because you don't shower. Yeah, guys.
See, this is the reason. See, this is Hassan is still trans fat. This is the focus that he has around showering. Fat people have this focus. They care so much about this.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Yeah, if we walk 3 miles, if we did a triathlon, yeah,
I didn't say
who would. First of all, I think between us
SG.
three, if we're doing rankings on who is capable of walking 3 miles, I think Stavros got you beat. I'm not even placing myself in this equation.
All right.
One
be fucking real.
And let's be real, right?
Okay, so that's
like,
one.
Now we have like imagine the bare minimum.
One.
And now, this is again trans fat mentality. I was not even thinking about not being able to
192.
walk 3 miles. Only a person with a fat mind would think that walking 3 miles is ever something that's even inside of the realm of not being able to be completed. Of course, we can
189, I
all
think.
walk 3 miles. That's easy. But your mind is still
189.
colonized
What
by
is
the
that?
fat.
That's
It's hog logic. It is. We're not thinking about if you can do it or not. Like, you're way, way behind on this. It's a fat mentality. Yes, it's the...
One
Jesus.
But but I don't think Asmongold has done anything dynamic in his life for like the last 3 decades. So I assume
1,000.
that given how sedentary his lifestyle is normally, if he had to literally walk for 3 miles, he would just perish at like the end of the first mile.
Okay. Again, this is more fat projection. It is. It's fat projection. Every single adult can walk a mile. The only point where you can't walk a mile is if you're really fat. Those are the only people that can't walk a mile. Like, my dad was able to walk a mile after he had pneumonia like 7 times or something like that. Half of his lung was gone. He was still able to walk a mile. So what are we talking about? Like, this, it's or injuries? Yeah, of course, right? I mean, obviously, if you're disabled, that's different. Like, this is, Jesus, this is, he hasn't been fat for a long time, and he's still thinking like this, and being able, his mind is colonized. It's golden corralonized, right? Like, You're thinking about being able to walk 3 miles. Of course people can walk 3 miles. I don't know what to say. You think this is the way it is?
He was a...
No, dog, we think you smell disgusting because you don't shower, and you openly say you don't shower.
Yeah.
And you look like you got, you know...
There are more clips on the internet of people expressing that Hassan smells bad than me.
Visible stink lines on you.
Yeah.
I think you ask the average person who looks like they smell worse.
Yeah.
Asmongold or Stavros, like 99.9% of the time, they're going to be like, you, dog, you look...
I think this is like an example of the second fattest kid in the class making fun of the fattest kid in the class. I think that really, if you gave them a picture of me and Stavros and they said which one smells bad, they would answer and say yes.
What do you mean, yes? Cosmic crystal? What is this? Two crystal.
Type of guy that someone would hastily say, oh, sorry, I don't have any change on me, brother, you know?
He actually has no idea how right he is. So I went to the emergency room and I had like, you know, a mental health thing, right? And it was like, not in a big way, but I thought I had something wrong with me. And so I go in there and I'm like, I think I have lumps on my neck. And so they checked me. They said, idiot, you don't have lumps on your neck. Why is your blood pressure so high? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm stressed out. They said, okay, why don't you sit here for a minute? And then they come back. They said, are you retarded? I said, I'm not retarded. They said, okay, great, leave. And I'm like, do you have to pay? And they're like, well, and they just like looked at me. They're like, no, just go. Just go. It's fine. Yeah, so actually, like, he's actually right about this. It's true. I never have bums ask me for money. I never do. No, that's actually not true. I went downtown. I had a guy with one leg ask me for money. I gave him $20. I gave him $20, but that's because he saw me in a new Mercedes.
I don't got change on me, brother. Sorry about that. To me, like our boy didn't have too good of a time here with this.
I was very upset.
Asmongold and Stavros.
I was so
like,
mad.
Here's the thing: Stavros is basically the bizarro Asmongold in many respects, where
he's like Wario.
Like neither of them care too much about their physical appearance. It's obvious, right?
Then why would you think I got mad?
Wait.
Like
it's obvious.
Sure, it's basically the same.
Getting healthier show and whatnot, but like,
hey! I got my blood pressure down 70 points. That's crazy.
Like he's a guy, he's a chiller. Like he enjoys his life. It's very obvious, right? And yet he has unbelievably good vibes.
Yeah.
And is very funny.
I think he is. I think he's a really funny guy. He's got great vibes. I think his political opinions are fucking stupid because he agrees with you. He's a funny guy. You're right.
Whereas Asmongold has rancid fucking vibes and is...
I don't even have ketchup.
Rancid vibes, then why is it that I have always had tons of friends, I've had tons of people to hang out with all the time. I have videos of myself in like middle school and high school hanging out with my friends. There's like
there's Lollipop, but Chlorophyte is not that hard.
Last like 20 years
Wait,
of my life.
I even have I have it in the other game.
Vibes. I feel like that wouldn't really happen.
Damn, one
correct. Yeah, I really don't think so at all. Congrats on the blood pressure, dude. You know what I changed? Nothing. I just stopped being a fucking idiot. That was it. I ate a little bit less Chipotle, and I did exercise more. I don't want.
Then this one the craziest thing.
Because then it's gonna be like, no, I could walk a mile. Like, and then I'm like, I'm playing into his narrative, right? But I do go for walks. So like, and they're extended walks, and so that did help.
Funny at all. Know this, but I mean, I was, I was a fat kid too.
That's not even that good.
We know. Everybody knows. It's okay. It's fine.
And when you're fat, you are very sensitive about
But you're not fat anymore, so why are you still